So now, can I just ask you to type this? Okay, first of all, let's create a new class, and then I'll let you type. And then I will copy and paste simply in my case. Oh, sorry, not this one. So now can you just go back to your Eclipse, and let's create a new class. Let's call that variables2. Class, lights. Variables2. And make sure you have the main method there. Okay, can you simply just type this? For me, I'm just gonna copy and paste, but I'll wait you for 2 minutes, okay? Type this. So type this under your main method. Sound is gone, right? Oh, there's something out. One thing to mention, okay? So some of you might be having this problem here. If you see your Eclipse here, you can see there is just around the right-hand side corner here. You can see where my mouse is moving now. So there's something called perspective in Eclipse. Whenever you're developing your Java code, you are staying in the Java perspective or the programming perspective. When you're debugging, you're switching yourself to another perspective, right? So now, this is a debugging perspective. If you click on the bug over here, so that's something which when I run the debugger, it will show. If you want to go back to the editing mode, you'll click on this Java again to this. Okay, just something to mention. Okay, so now let me just copy and paste and then make sure I'm keep up with you. Okay, I'm just going to paste that. Oh, that's a single line. That's really bad. Anyway, to bear with me, give me a few seconds here. Actually, not too bad. There's another trick I would like to show you in Eclipse. And semicolon. So sometimes, let's say if my code doesn't really indent very well, there is one mechanism to help you in Eclipse. If you say Control A, it's going to select all the code, right? Control I is going to put everything into place as much as possible. Control A is going to select the whole code, and then Control I stands for indentation. It's going to put all the indentation into place. Okay, that's also something very useful. Okay, now actually want to do another exercise here. If I put a breakpoint here, so that's right before I created D1, right? So now, if I want to debug, I can say run debug as Java application. Okay, so now you can see that, make sure you have variables, you have expressions. If you don't find them, use the window and show view to find them. In case you don't see them here, go to other. Go to other, you can type. For example, if you type variables, you can see variables there. If you type something like maybe package explorer, you will also see them. Okay, that's how you find the corresponding panels. So now let's just do a few and then we can move on to other things. So now let's say this. We are pausing at this point right before we try to declare D1 as a double variable with the initial value like this. So now you can see now the variable here is basically empty. Don't worry about args for now, okay? Don't worry about it. It's basically empty. If I say step over, I can predict there's gonna be another row here, which will be variable D1 with 3.14, whatever, right? If you do that, D1 with this value here, okay? So now, if I execute line number 6 again, it's going to output something to the console. You can see right now, there's nothing in the console, nothing there. If I say step over, you can see the value has been output to the console, right? So it really stepping line by line. So I'll leave this as an exercise for you when you go home. So try to just run the debugger and using the breakpoint in the first line. Try to run it one by one and try to observe the variables and expressions. For example, here you can set some expression here. I'll show you. You can see over here we have something called I1 times 5. So you can type I1 times 5 in the expression panel and observe how the value changes and convince yourself the program is really behaving as you expected. Okay, that will be left as an exercise for you. Okay, so now let's do something else. So now I would like to talk about something new. Okay, let's do some motivating example. So now I want to go back to how we calculate the area of a circle. Okay, I want to show you the limitation of the program, and hopefully that can introduce you to why we need a selection mechanism, if then else. So we will do a little bit if then else today, and then I'll give you some handouts. You can do some pre-study for Thursday. So let's say new class. Let's say compute area of circle. Okay, let's say 1. That's version 1. How about this? Make it more explicit. Bad. Okay, I'm gonna have a good version in a moment. And put the main method here and finish. Okay. First of all, let's put a scanner there so we can read the input from the user. Okay. So now let's type scanner control space. That will give you the import, right? Hopefully you're reasonably familiar with this after doing the assignments. Scanner input, by the way, you can call it something else. It doesn't have to be input. I can call it keyboard if I like. Any variable name like. I'll say keyboard this time. Keyboard new system new scanner system.in. Okay, let's say I want to prompt the user to enter some double value. If I say, first of all, let's declare a pi. So you say final double pi is assigned to 3.14, for example. Okay, it's a constant, cannot be changed. And then I would say this system.out.println. I want to prompt the user to enter something. So you can say enter the radius of circle. So now I'm expecting some input from the user, right, from the keyboard. So now let's say it's a double value because the radius can be 3.5, can be 3.4, etc. So double radius is assigned to keyboard dot next double rather than next int because it should be a double value with a fractional part. So once we get a radius, we can calculate the area accordingly. So now declare double area is assigned to. So hopefully you know how to complete this, right? You can say radius times pi. And finally, let's print out the result. Thank you. So now let's print it out. System.out.println. You can say circle with radius plus, and let's say I want to separate into two print statement, but I say print rather than print line, right? Hopefully you're also familiar with that as well already. With radius, this system.out.println has area of plus area. Okay, just make sure you can type all the program, and then I'll show you some normal inputs. And then I'll show you the limitation of this program here. So that will hopefully motivate why we need something new. Okay. Are we okay so far? No? Oh, wait. Okay, a few seconds and then we'll start. Let's try some simple run. Let's run this program here. If you click on play over here, right, run, enter the radius of circle. Let's try this. What about 3.0, for example? Okay, enter. Circle with radius 3.0 has area of 28.26. Okay, this looks correct to me. So far so good? Okay, that's kind of the normal input or normal input you would expect. Let's try something else. What if I do this? Let's try another run. Minus 3.0. What does it say? Circle with radius minus 3.0 has exactly the same area. Does it make mathematical sense? No. So now what's going on here? Let's see. Let's try this here. Let's use debugger. Okay. I would like to somehow stop. Let's say I would like to stop. Let's say when I try to calculate the area. Okay. So as soon as let me see here. So you can see this is the line where I try to read the inputs from the user, right? So I would like to stop there as soon as I get there. Okay. So now set a breakpoint right before I got radius there. Okay. Let's see how the program is gonna do. If I try this, if I say debug, okay, I want to debug this particular program here. You can see there's a bug button there. Click on that. So now we're here, which means it's right before we type something to the keyboard, right before. Okay. If I type 3.0, click on enter, and then say step over. It goes to area and then try to calculate, right? You can see that, right? And then you can see the variable here. You can see there is, the area doesn't exist just yet because now we're in this line here. If you click on step over, you will see area is calculated, 28.26. Okay, that's one run, okay? You can see as soon as we read the radius from the keyboard, we go to here, okay? So now stop this, terminates. Can we try it again? Go to the bug button again. Let's debug the program for another run. Click on that. So now let's enter minus 3.0. Let's see if the behavior might be different in any way. Click on enter and then say step over. You can see now, even though radius was entered as negative value, we still go to this line without any distinction. So there should be some notion of selective actions. We want to say, if the value is somehow negative, in this case, we would like to do something else. For example, you may want to tell the user, well, you enter some negative value for the radius. I cannot do it. If that's positive, I can do it, right? It's like either go this way or that way. That's kind of the motivation here. So there will be many, many situations in your program. Your program wouldn't be just a simple flow, always the case. You may want to say sometimes I want to branch to either this way or that way. Okay? So that's why we need the if then else statements. Okay? So that's one motivation here. So I think I'll give you some handouts here, and then that will be for your pre-study. Okay? And then I'll do some syntax with you. The syntax is rather simple. So, can you just help me distribute, please? So just have the handouts, and please make sure you remember to bring it also to the lecture. We'll talk more